Hello world, my name is Ihor and this is a Techno Break. I remember one guy told me, man, this module is too harsh. I asked, even if you gently modulate it with attenuation in place? And he goes, I never use attenuation. I mean, I do not judge at all and whatever works for him, but at least for me, when it comes to noise engineering voice modules, they are so deeply packed with sonic opportunities. Like you can turn any knob and it gives you like way too many different options. So, and modulating the full spectrum with an LFO, for example, if you're going to take Oct's LFO, which goes -5, +5 without attenuation and plug into waveform, it's going to go crazy. So for me, it all comes to finding a sweet spot when it sounds right for that particular moment. And this is why you must use attenuators. So today I'd like to experiment a little with this oscillator, Ataraxic Iteritas from Noise Engineering. This module is known as an aggressive digital oscillator, and it is aggressive indeed, which is good for techno music, I guess. And for today's setup, I have the Octatrack here with drum samples. And then the modular, of course, with Ataraxic as a main voice, then Polaris for filter. I'm going to also use mimetic and scales to get the different kinds of modulation in place, and of course envelopes from Ponce Asinorum. And I have ZOIA here for chorus and reverb. So yeah. And today I'm going to start with creating some drone sound on the modular, sample it into the Octatrack, and then add kick drum and hats, and then experiment more with Ataraxic. Let's do it. So yeah, starting with the drone sound, I'm gonna first of all plug in or turn on the modular, and yeah, start patching a little bit the Ataraxic. So yeah, let's start by going into the filter, and out of the filter we're gonna go straight into the audio output. So the Ataraxic itself has like several bit tables with waveforms, so you can switch in between those with the mode switch and then go and find an interesting waveform. Like any of those, when you go like fully clockwise, these are like drone sounds for me. But the one I'd like to use is the square 2. Some time modulation. And then maybe band pass filter. Oh, this one. Okay, now I'd like to rhythmically modulate it with the LFO, so this one here. I'm gonna just put a couple of trigs on output A, like for getting rhythmic, and clock I'm receiving from the Octatrack. And here I'm gonna set the LFO a little bit, goes into attenuator, and then from attenuator it goes into what it is, time modulation. Let's do time modulation. Yeah, like, for example, this is, I think it is too much, but that sounds good already. Yeah, let's try it with the kick drum together. So track 1, I have this kick here. Let me, I had trigs already here. So 130 BPM. Yes. This one is not too much stereo though. I think for that I can quickly do a patch on ZOIA. So audio input, mono from left, done. Audio output, yeah, stereo done. So I have one input, and then I'm gonna put chorus here. And this one is going to be really wide. What am I doing even? Okay, I need chorus. Yeah. So 1 in, 2 outs. And done. Then this goes into input. And these two go into output. And let's have a listen. So this is without. And this is with. So it's like got this stereo field, which I really was looking for. And yeah, let me sample it into track 5. So I have a track 5 set here. I'm gonna reduce the volume and sample like 64 steps, basically 4 bars of that sound from the modular. Okay, I guess it's there. Let's have a listen. Yeah. Of course, there is no sound coming here because, yes, so it is there. The only thing I'd like to do here is to add some docking LFO. So real quick, I used LFO 3 for that, and then volume on the amp. And then wave shape is going to be inverted exponential, 16 mult. Then sync trig, so that it trigs on the first bar. So I have it 1 trig here and 4 pages, so it's going to trigger and go ahead. And then depth, something like this. Let's have a listen without it. Maybe a little bit of a filter. Yeah. Let's add hi-hats. So I have this nice hi-hat. Yeah, usual stuff. Like, I'm not going too crazy with all of those because intention is just to get some groove going and experiment with the Ataraxic a little bit. So I'm gonna reduce the volume a little and maybe make it a little sharper, the envelope. And as usually, like, I can make 2 of them, yeah, a little bit different. And yeah, drone sound. Yeah, something like that will work. And now let's go back to the modular. And here, yeah, I'm gonna remove these cables and switch this input back into the envelope, not the LFO. So for Ataraxic, I must use the VCA, and this VCA is amazing, super tiny one from Intelligil. I just love it. And what I'm gonna use is the output 1 as the envelope for VCA. Then output from filter goes into the input of VCA, and output of VCA goes here. Then we've got our steppy here, which is going to be triggering the first envelope. Let's put randomly some trigs here. And yeah. So this is sound of Ataraxic. Yeah, I think we can start with this one. Of course, not the band pass filter, but rather low pass filter. And the second envelope I'm gonna use to modulate the low pass filter. Oh, that distortion changes the sound significantly here, but anyway, let's not use it so far. So the second envelope I'm gonna use as a filter envelope. And then add some chorus, but not as big as we used for drone. Okay, I've heard the melody a little bit different, but when it got reset from the Octatrack. Yeah, it's fine, I think. So, nice. Okay, this one. Let's get a little bit more aggressive. Yeah, like... Okay, cool. So next thing, I'd like to use Mimetic Digitalis to go... yeah, basically I'm gonna malt the track A of Steppy and use Mimetic to get some pitch variation. I'm gonna do the trick to reset the Mimetic a little bit. So gonna go into track B, put some tricks there, and go back into track A. So it's going and repeating itself. So let's listen. Ah, yeah, I need to patch the output 1. That's too much. Oh no, let's run it through the scales first, so that I can quantize it to the minor chord. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. And now... Also, let's trick the scale so that it only changes the pitch whenever it receives the trig from Steppy, but does not change on these two trigs, which reset Mimetic. Okay, I think that's pretty much... that's cool. Maybe a little reverb here. So effect modules... I like this ghost reverb on ZOIA. So it's gonna be 1 input, 2 outputs. No, 2 inputs and 2 outputs. Because I'm gonna patch it from the reverb, from the chorus. Let me remove it real quick. So I need to remove this and this outputs, and then patch this and this into reverb, and outputs from reverb go into output and mix. It's not gonna be too much, something like that. Let's have a listen. Okay, I love it. Maybe a little louder. I have this Scene 13 always set up the master filter here to have sort of like high pass stuff. And nice. And let's use modulation finally. So I'm gonna grab 3 outputs of the Mimetic Digitalis and just plug them all together into the lapses, so that I can use attenuation for that. And then I'm gonna select all of those and yeah, start patching. For example, the first thing I'd like to do is to patch time modulation of... That's super nice. Next thing I'd like to patch will be maybe shape. Or let's patch waveform. Really nice. And then next will be, yeah, maybe fold. Yeah. Let's put a little compressor here. what I also like to do on Steppy is to go into the shift mode and then switch a little bit, like move, like sequence 4 steps forward, for example. I didn't really like it, so I'm gonna move it back to 4 steps. And let's also use the trick with the envelope. So output C, I'm gonna put one here. So it's gonna trigger once in a while the envelope. And I'm gonna make it longer. And then, of course, it goes into the lapses. And from lapses, I'm gonna use it for, I think, noise maybe. Let's do it. Not too much from the noise stuff, but maybe this. That's an interesting sound. What else do I have? I have the Oct, which I can slowly modulate FM2. Fortunately, Polaris has attenuator here, so I can and then I can move these faders to get some nice variations. And if I go into track A, back into track A, and like just remove some tricks and put them differently, let's introduce the clap. Yeah, that's attenuation in a nutshell for noise engineering voice modules for me. That sounds incredibly good. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If so, put a like on it. You can put a dislike as well, but let me know how can I improve those videos for you to enjoy more. You can give me any ideas you have. Maybe you've seen some module and you would like me to make a review of it or something in the comments. Feel free. Also, you can follow me on Instagram. I have a link in the description. And yeah, I think that's it for today. Let's have some fun. man, it got really groovy. I love it.